All right, so give us our first 3x3.
Okay, so
what the fuck is?
we've got. Okay, it's over here now. Okay, so we've got Clannad or Clannad After Story.
Is that Gundam Seed?
Gundam Seed.
Is that Gundam Seed?
I really hope it's not Gundam Seed. We have Princess Mononoke. We have Ranma Half. We have Orimo. God, did you make this? We have Welcome to the NHK. We have Naruto, potentially Shippuden. We have Hajime no Ippo, and we have Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, this is tough. Who the fuck would make this list? Can you pull up the names?
Okay. There is one big indicator here, even without looking at the guest names.
Are you able to? Sorry, are you able to put these?
Absolutely.
On the background and
Like.
Well, what
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
This person grew up in the same era as myself.
Yeah.
Because there is no fucking way someone would put Gundam Seed on their list if it wasn't the very first Gundam and maybe the only Gundam that they've watched. You know, that's...
If you've seen any other Gundam, you would not put Seed on here.
That's what I'm saying. And no, nobody else would put it unless it's the first Gundam you put on there.
Yeah, wasn't I think Gundam Seed, when it was airing on Cartoon Network or something, I don't know where it aired, it was the most popular show on the entire network in the West.
I think I actually might know who this is, because from the list we've been given, there is only one person I know that would have the balls to put Seed on here, and also has openly expressed how much they love Clannad and Orimo.
Gaunt?
No. I think it's Daidus.
It would make a lot of sense. He
He loves Clannad, he loves Hajime no Ippo, he loves Orimo, and he would put Seed.
He likes Hajime no Ippo?
Yeah.
I've never heard him talk about Hajime no Ippo before.
And I think he's mentioned Ranma Half before.
Yeah.
So I reckon this is Daidus.
I see the degeneracy. I know a fellow brother when I see one, and then someone put Orimo right slap bang in the center, as I would have done, and I think I did do actually.
See, I can already see it, right? Daidus is he's listing off the obvious ones that immediately come to his head, like Orimo and Princess Mononoke, Hajime, Clannad, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And his attempt to seem cultured is him putting Welcome to the NHK. You know what I mean? He's like, no. It's not all the mainstream stuff I love. I also watch other ones like Welcome to the NHK, but he also forgets Welcome to the NHK and it's mega horny as well, which is also very Daidus.
Is this Daidus?
Yes, we know our friend.
Read you like a book.
He does. I don't know anyone in this day and age who still references Naruto as much as him. I don't know anyone else who references. He just always says something Naruto.
Yeah, but is that anything special? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people reference Naruto.
Yeah,
I feel like Naruto reference is becoming less common, Gaunt.
Yeah, now that Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure this is how I don't know. This is probably some older equivalent involved here.
That's true.
I feel like he springs up Naruto more than anyone else, or any normal amount. Any allowed amount should be brought up.
That is true.
That is true. One thing that surprises me being on here, I'm really hoping you have seen more Gundams, or this is. I don't think
he's seen more Gundams. Okay, so I don't know what's so bad about Gundam Seed. Can you explain to me why Gundam Seed is bad and what even it is?
Well, it's a Gundam for one.
Okay, great.
It was just, I don't know.
Have you seen any Gundam?
Nope. And there's probably a fair amount of viewers watching who haven't seen any Gundams.
So when most people bring up what their favorite Gundams are, and I'm talking the kind of older, the first half of the Gundam franchise, right? A lot of people bring up Wing. A lot of people bring up 00 is a very common one. Seed, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the words to describe why Seed is questionable. It's hard.
It's not hard. It's just the writing quality fucking jumped off a cliff, especially in the second season. It's that one Gundam that's got mega popular. I mean, you mentioned Wing and 00. I don't think any of them hold a candle to how popular Seed got back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was one of those Gundams that you look at the entire history of Gundam, right? You look at this entire franchise with how many shows there are, and then it's this one that gained the mega mainstream popularity, and it's just confusing because
probably right place, right time.
Maybe
it's the Sword Online equivalent, you know.
Holy shit! That is actually oh my god! That is actually the perfect analogy.
It's the Seed is to the Mecha franchise as Sword Art was to the Isekai franchise, where it was just right place at the right time, mega popular, but not the best writing in any stretch of the mean.
Yeah, and you watch Gundam Seed, and that might be your introduction to Gundam, and then you watch any other Gundam, and you're like, oh, this is shit.
Yeah.
And this is like, or you watch even like any other mecha show, and you realize how
I don't remember.
What is Gundam Seed out of 10 on a scale if you had to give it a rating?
Like a 5 for me.
I like 5, 6.
It's pretty brutal,
especially after the second season. There's more coffee. I need more coffee.
Do we have a reason why did he say why he chose the things he chose? He didn't give any reasons.
He didn't give any reasons.
So some of the guests have given reasons as to why. Yeah, I do know for a fact that Daidus always talks about how much he loves romance and slice of life shows.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that's why Clannad After Story's on here.
Oh, he loves if you want to meet someone who loves Clannad more than I do, it's Daidus. Like Daidus fucking loves Clannad, which is based.
Yeah.
He also loves Orima as well, which is not based.
Daidus is like a fucking brother to me, man. Every time I watch a trashy romance show, I know he's like, I message him and he's always into the same shit.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
We both fucking love Orimo. He gets the masterpiece that is Domestic Girlfriend as well. He understands that shit.
Well, Daidus just likes car crashes.
Yeah, that's the thing.
When I talk to Daidus about shows, he often... one thing that he always makes very apparent is that if he feels like he can predict what's going to happen, he's not interested.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess the reason why he likes Orimo and perhaps maybe Domestic Girlfriend is that there's such car crashes that he doesn't know where it's going.
Yeah. That is true.
But to me, that is an indication of a show that's good. There's an indication of a show that's just trying to subvert expectations.
Sure.
And then, of course, if you're going to fuck your brother, that's a good way to subvert expectations.
I wouldn't say so. Okay, let me defend the fucking trashy romance genre, okay? Because I'm addicted to this shit. Okay, actually, do you know what I did in the Christmas holiday? I don't know if you would be, if you know what this is, Joe. I watched White Album 2.
You watch White Album 2?
Yeah, the first time.
I fucking know it.
Okay.
My question is, you could have watched anything else. And you watched White Album 2?
Because it was the one fucking car crash romance that I just did not watch.
What the fuck is White Album 2?
Imagine School Days, but without...
Mid-2000s.
Imagine School Days, but without the murdering. And it's about that...
Yeah.
I actually think it's on the same level of School Days in terms of like the pure fucking shitty reaction and the car crash of an ending that you got. There's like, look at this. This screams like mid-2000s trashy romance.
Yeah, it was originally an Eroge, I think, or at least a visual novel.
Probably an Eroge.
Probably an Eroge from the mid-2000s. Got mega popular in the Dojin world.
Yeah.
And then when the anime came out, I watched it when it came out, and I'd forgotten about it until you brought it up.
That ending?
I'm really hoping you didn't bring it up.
This was an ending where they set up like a love triangle. I fucking love this shit. They set up a love triangle, and then the author just sets everything on fire. And I fucking love that shit, man.
You just described a mid-2000s.
Sounds stressful.
Huh?
Sounds stressful.
I mean, okay, maybe it's because I'm in a happy relationship that this is like to feel something anymore. I need this kind of romance. I need this kind of story in my life, man. Because like my real life, I'm like,
it's too solid. Your real life, you need some fucking.
I need some spice. I need some spice up in there, man.
The imagination.
God's gonna get to the point where the only thing that'll like get his socks rocking is just playing the most egregious erogates out there from the mid-2000s, because all of them are like that.
No, but I've always liked car crash kind of romances just because it gives you an emotional response. Like you are, like it's kind of like drama YouTube, except no one's getting hurt. It's like no one's actually doing something outrageous. It's all in a place of fantasy and fiction.
That makes sense. But again, over the Christmas holidays, you could have watched literally anything.
Bro, I had a great time, man. I got fucking plastered, and I watched White Album with Sydney, and we fucking shouted at the screen.
Oh my God.
For what all the characters were doing, and it was a great fucking time.
This is the weeb equivalent to watching sports, bro.
No, this is the weeb equivalent to watching 90 Day Fiance and being like, yo, they did what? No.
She said what?
Yo, she slept with him? Wait, this bitch came back and she thinks that she can take over again? Ain't no way. No, it's a great time.
Sounds like a horrible time.
One that I am kind of...
How is this that you were defending Orimo?
Yeah.
So Orimo is just that. The ending to Orimo is just one of, like, seeing the reaction to the internet to the ending of Orimo was one of the most funnest weekends I've had in my life. Just seeing the internet melt down.
That was me with School Days, bro. That was me with School Days.
Wait, what?
We're seeing the ending to School Days and then just Japanese internet just being like, what the fuck did I just fucking watch?
See, with School Days, I guess I was like on forums and on social media less.
I was on 2chan, bro.
Oh, you're on 2chan?
2chan caught on flames that day.
What was the reaction like to that?
Dude, everyone was like, wait, so was this like an April Fool's joke? Like,
Yeah.
did this actually, is this the actual, like, no. That they're setting up for a final episode, right? And
Yeah.
no, it wasn't, and people got mad as fuck. But it was really weird. It was so egregious that half the internet with a stable mind was like, this is the worst fucking ending I've ever seen. And then the other half of 2chan was like, that was an absolute masterpiece.
I have a question about Orimo.
Yes.
I actually don't know what the fuck Orimo is about. All I know is that there's incest. That's only from you. Wait,
have you never seen it?
No, because it has incest. I don't want to watch that.
Well, I mean, it's not the whole way through. Just a little bit.
It's literally okay. Let me explain to you.
It's just a little bit of incest.
Just a little bit.
All right, let me explain to you why the internet fucking broke down.
Yes,
in
explain
Orimo.
to me.
Because people don't fucking believe me when I say this, but it was a show that debated all of us. It like pulled like a reverse Uno card because Orimo in season 1 came out, and it was a show called My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute. Right?
Yeah.
And then everyone was memeing on it because, haha, it's a fucking show called fucking My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute, obvious incest bait. And then you actually watch season 1, and then people were like, wait, they're actually like acting like real brother and sister, like actual siblings. And it turns out to be a pretty interesting look on otaku and like Akihabara culture in Japan. Okay. Because this came out before there was this huge wave of, hey, this is like weeb culture. Yeah. This is a look into Akihabara
2000
culture.
When was it? 8, 9,
something around that time. And so it was a genuinely interesting and good show that people hadn't seen before, with what at the time felt like a more realistic depiction of a brother and sister in anime. And then season 2 came out, and that it kind of went. It turned into this kind of slice of life look into otaku culture, into more of like a typical harem best girl kind of like show, where every girl around him falls for the main character.
Okay. And then Kuroneko got robbed, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And then they released the last 3 episodes as an OVA, where, spoiler, he chose his sister after the first season, where everyone's like, no, this ain't an incest show.
Do they like kiss or something, or?
Yeah.
That's only the beginning.
What?
They got married. That was the like end of the show.
Yeah.
They got like fake married. And then they broke up because they were brother and sister.
Because it was illegal.
Yeah, and it was just seeing the internet fucking go into flames because of the author just being like, haha, this isn't actually an incest show. Just joking. Actually, it was incest the entire time. You guys fell for my reverse bait. It was just everyone broke down.
The author is such a goddamn troll because then afterwards he was just like, I'm gonna have to go in and meet Eromanga Sensei. Which is just round 2.
Yeah, the big difference between Orimo and Eromanga Sensei is Eromanga Sensei just didn't even pretend. And
from episode 1, it was just like
genuinely, there was a time when I thought Orimo for like season 1. Genuinely, I think it's a good show. Eromanga Sensei, that was always in the trash, man. That was always
to give Orimo the benefit of the doubt. It did, as Garn said, have a lot of interesting aspects to it that was actually created a compelling story even for a harem anime.
Yeah.
But my problem with it is that it didn't follow through with that.
Yeah,
till
exactly.
the end. And the author was just like, nah, I'm gonna make some DJ shit instead.
What about this do you think maybe was so compelling to Daidus? Because obviously, Gon, this is a big show favorite of yours. What about it do you think could be so compelling to be in the top 9?
To me, Oromo was the first show that I would say turned me into a weeb. I would say before Oromo. Okay, here's what I'm.
For what reason, Gon? For what reason?
Okay, here's the difference. Before Oromo, right? I went through this kind of like pretentious critic. I have good taste, kind of like you know, everyone goes to that phase where they're like, oh, I went through the Mal top 100. That's my taste. I like Legends of the Galactic Heroes. I like all of the classics.
You just described me in 2023.
Yeah, and then Oromo. And then I watch Oromo, and I'm like, huh. The first I went into this ready to shit on it, and the first season, I was like, wait a minute, this is enjoyable, but this goes against everything that I thought I enjoyed. And I think because at the time this was a very kind of like original take on it, or a very new take on it, I think that was the first kind of like show for a lot of people in my generation. Where I
think people still gravitate to it even now, because even though it came out in 2010, there have been so many Orimo clones that have come out since then that have tried to like replicate that feeling of the show to not that much success, because people just see right through it.
In this day and age, Orimo doesn't stand out as much anymore because there's like a million different shows that revolve around.
But it does stand out in a sense because I would say out of all of the Orimo clones and all the shows that kind of bit off Orimo still does Orimo best. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because there was a point where it was genuinely, I think, a good show.
Yeah.
And then every show copied the second half of the Orimo show.
Welcome to the NHK. I hear a lot of people talk very positively about this. One of the shows that's been on my, like, I'm sure I'm going to watch this at some point, and I never have.
That's a fantastic show.
That is the anti-Orimo,
Mega depressing.
Yeah, it also deals with otaku culture, except the fucking depressing side of shit.
From my understanding, it just seems about like a show a guy who's struggling with how to be normal.
Yeah, it's kind of Welcome to the NHK, I think, is one of the best anime that
Joe didn't want one.
Tackles. Yeah, I didn't want one. Welcome to the NHK is one of the best shows, in my opinion, that tackles the idea of loneliness in Japan.
Okay.
Because, you know,
you're talking, so there's definitely going to be on camera of Gon spilling or something.
Right. But, so, like, as Gon said, like, you know, if the ideal weeb world is the main character of Orimo, then the total opposite of that is the main character of Welcome to the NHK.
Yeah.
Where, like, him being ostracized and him feeling lonely as a result of being an otaku and struggling to connect to people through his hobbies and his interests is the entire philosophy of Welcome to the NHK.
It's like a bit more of a real take as opposed to the Orimo.
This is just
fuck my sister take.
Yeah.
This is just if BoJack Horseman was a weeb. That is Welcome to the NHK.
That's okay. You've sold me. Okay, you've sold me.
It kind of it deals with exactly the same thing.
Is it as depressing as BoJack?
It's fucking depressing.
It's pretty depressing.
BoJack is pretty depressing
because it's. I mean, you know about hikikomoris, right? This is the main character is a hikikomori, and the entire show is him struggling to fucking not become a hikikomori and actually become a member of society. And
it sounds like a great show.
Fucking hard. It's
brutal.
Like this came out before kind of like the whole mental health awareness was more of a thing now in this day and age, and it's so weird to see this coming out back in the day before that conversation was really as prevalent as it is now.
Yeah, it's very poignant even now.
Yeah, and it still hits just as hard. And you know,
it's just so funny just hearing the dichotomy between Orimo and this. You're like, he fucks his sister. Well, I feel they get married. Yeah, it's not a bad thing, and you're like, so he's just trying to be a normal human being. Like, damn, that's tough.
Yeah, I can really see.
Like, it's like, fuck your sister, easy pill to swallow. Functioning a member of society. Fuck, that's tough, dude. That's tough.
Real shit.
It's like, why are we at the world where these two shows are described in this?
Daidus was really like double dipping into like the otaku world, like at both ends of the spectrum of the weeb world with these two shows. I am surprised with Yu Yu Hakusho though. I've never heard him talk about Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, I've never heard him talk about it either.
Yeah. If I knew, I would fucking geek out about Yu Yu Hakusho with him. But
Yeah.
Solid choice, presumably.
very solid choice.
It's
fantastic.
literally shonen and weeb.
One of the
and-
best 90s shonen shows in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that he also has Ranma on here as well.
Also good.
So he's just, dipping in all generations.
He's got good taste.
Yeah.
Good taste.
Except for Gundam
Except
Seed.
for Seed. I don't
Except
know
for
why.
Seed.
What about Naruto?
I mean, Naruto's just Naruto, isn't it?
It's probably just shonen number one that you first followed, I imagine. It's like whichever shonen you follow first for the longest time.
See, I don't know. Well, I'm looking at
Has
this
big
and I'm
impact
like,
on me.
was the first anime he ever watched Seed or was it Naruto?
I don't think, does the first matter that much?
It does, because it kind of sets up.
I watched Naruto first and I wouldn't put it as, it's
And
not.
now you like Orimo, so.
Well, I mean, there's a nostalgia sells, can't,
Yeah.
and for a reason. People tend to be very, even if it might not be their favorite, they tend to have a subconscious kind of tie to the first real long show they watch.
Right.
Because Princess Mononoke was definitely his first anime film. Guaranteed.
Princess
Or- or
Mononoke
should-
was
or
my
should-
first anime
It's
film.
like a gritty film. It's like a.
I mean, it's one of my favorite Ghibli films.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite as well.
Still haven't watched it.
What?
No,
You've never seen Mononoke?
I think you would enjoy it actually.
You would really like it.
It's
actually
more,
like adult.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's more adult than something like Spirited Away. Spirited Away is a bit more,
Is it as trippy? Because Spirited Away is just fucking weird a lot of the time.
Mononoke is trippy.
it's pretty trippy. Yeah, it's pretty trippy.
Trippy as shit. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like those kind of films. It's like leaning forward. You have to watch because you're like, oh shit. Okay, let me.
Oh yeah, Mononoke in some scenes is just like, oh fuck, okay,
Fair
they
enough.
went there.
Yeah.
And then of course Hajime no Ippo, considered as one of the best sports anime of all time.
Oh, absolutely, it is amazing show.
One day I will watch it,
Yeah.
but it is long.
It is long.
It's just long.
You have not watched Hajime no Ippo?
No, it's long. If I have, I've lied. I've said that I've watched it. I've lied.
You would love it actually.
Yeah.
Every anytime single time I see a clip from the show, it looks so goddamn cool.
It's
It seems
awesome.
fun.
Some of the most, I think Hajime no Ippo is some of the most hype you could get in anime, just period. Like, when I think about the hype anime, what comes up at the top? It's something like Gurren Lagann, I think, is the ceiling of how hype a certain show can be. Hajime no Ippo is like a very, very close second there for me in terms of how hype I felt watching a
agree with
scene or just watching a piece of fiction. I've never had the adrenaline rush of some of the scenes that have happened in Hajime no Ippo.
Have you seen Yu Yu Hakusho?
I've seen one episode.
One episode.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this on a podcast,
Right.
where I tried watching it and I wasn't in the right frame of mind.
It also starts off slow as well.
It's so slow.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
episode, it's like, okay, he dies.
Because Togashi didn't know which direction he wanted to take
Yeah.
the story. So it actually started off as like kind of like a slice of life show.
Yeah.
Until Togashi was like, all right, I'm going to pull a Dragon Ball route and just do an action show.
Yeah.
All right, but that was Daidus' list, which
solid.
I think accurately represents everything I know about him.
Yeah, this is very Daidus.
So I'm not going to call him out for lying.
Yeah.
So that definitely screamed his
job.
name.
Good job,
Alright, who's
Daidus.
next?
Good job, Daidus. Who is next? All right.